All right, this should look familiar. Trying to air refuel again. So I got my little box up over here, and you can see I'm not exactly sure where the guy is. This time I'm actually going to use my TACAN correctly. I throw my auto throttle on just to kind of maintain a speed here, and then eventually configure my TACAN. I think. Oh no, I'm figuring out my buttons and stuff because I bound the probe to a button on my joystick. All right, well, let's get closer. So you can see now I have my TACAN configured. It gives me range and bearing over here, and then here's my range. I'm 3 miles away from the tanker, and oh, there we go. It's at here's the range, bearing, and time to get there at current speed, which is 374 ish with auto throttle on. So I do get closer and see if I actually was able to make contact. Oh, actually, while we're getting closer.
Request rejoin. 111 Texaco. Proceed to pre-contact at 10,000.
All right, so I'm just going to go to my controls real quick, and what I ended up doing for the y-axis and the x-axis, so pitch and roll, axis tune, I had at 25. Uh, After talking with you the other day, you suggested increasing it. So I increased it to 30. I tried 35. I even went up to 40, and that's as high as I got. And you can see like minor adjustments on the joystick. If I move my joystick, I don't know if it'll register the movement. Yep. Okay. Which one is this? Y-axis. So if I move it just a little, barely anything's being done. So you could be more fine tuning. What I found was I needed more than just a little bit. So I'd have to pull back even harder. And then there's this point where it just like it goes up exponentially really fast. So I found that the opposite was true and I needed to take it down to 15. So now as I go up just a little, there is actual, pitch and roll on that. So it was flattening the curve. I had it too curvy at that point. So that was this attempt checking it at 15 curvature. So I'm 1 mile out, slowing down here to match the 279 knots that the tanker is going. Having this range really helped with trying to match my speed, not fly over it. So, and all I had to do was hit that button in the last video that I made. It was pretty nice. So 284, good closure rate, and then I slow down and speed up. But notice the pilot-induced oscillation compared to the last video with the new slider setting for, or not slider, but curvature setting on the controls. All right, I'm obviously doing a slow approach, so I'll try to make this one shorter than the last one, so I'll pause. All right, lining up for the first attempt here. Notice the stick movement and how little I'm having to move it now. Whether I got better or the slider set or the curvature setting is was good. I still some oscillation going on here, and trying to match everything, pitch, roll, speed, all kind of work together. It's really difficult, as you saw in the last video.
Break away, break away, break away.
Denied. So first attempt failure. All right, in for the second attempt. Looks pretty oscillaty, so I'm sure this is going to be a failure. And it was. All right, coming in for the third attempt. Seems a little fast, but controlled. I just slowed down, speeding up a little bit. Much more controlled, as you can tell. So my minor adjustments are actually doing something. And
Contact.
bingo, I made it. Now I don't stay long. I kind of lose it at this point. I'm so excited. I made contact with the basket. And you can see I cheated a little bit. I'm going 279. I threw my auto throttle control on, so I didn't have to worry about that, and I could focus on pitch, roll, and yaw, and I just break away. I came down too far. So yeah, and then I do it a couple more times, and many more failures, and then eventually the plane turns, and I tried contacting while it was doing a bank, and it was absolute failure, but I was able to get in there and completely refuel, and then flew away for a little while, came back to it at a different angle and then rejoined and refueled. So definitely changing the curvature helped, but in the opposite direction than we originally thought. And then obviously, just more practice and flight time. But there you go.